These were shocking and unusual animal invasions. It's the invasion of the peacocks. In 2021, hundreds of the majestic birds took up residence in a small city just outside of Los Angeles. They hung out in yards, pecked at roofs, and roamed in search of food. One of the biggest annoyances was their mating call.
And sound like babies being tortured through a loud microphone. And you can't sleep. On any given day, there can be 12 on my corner and 5 on the roof and 3 in one of these oak trees and a couple in the backyard.
Kathleen installed giant nets in her trees and motion sensor sprinklers, all of which did nothing to keep them away. So she called in a peacock relocator to take them to new homes. Also in 2021, hundreds of birds swarmed this house and flew right into the chimney. They lined the windowsills and attached themselves to the ceiling.
There were birds coming out of everywhere. It was insane.
Carrie from Torrance, California called animal control and was told to just leave her doors open, but the birds wouldn't budge.
And they were just bouncing off your head. As soon as I walked in the door, I was looking for Alfred Hitchcock. We're on the curtains. I just grabbed them 2 at a time, so I had 4. Took them to the door, let them go.
It took 3 days to remove over 1,500 birds by hand, and they were left with quite a mess.
Up here on the very top, there's still bird droppings there that we couldn't reach.
A couple of months later, Melissa Nelson's kids caught this giant-sized goldfish in the lake outside their home in Maple Grove, Minnesota.
Probably like 10 pounds?
At least 10 pounds.
It turns out many freshwater lakes across the U.S.A. were inundated with these monster goldfish. So where did they come from? Anne Mercogliano explained.
It may seem like a great idea. You want to get rid of your pet goldfish. So instead of flushing it down the toilet, you release it in the nearest lake, sending it back to nature where it can live out its life in the clean, crisp waters. But experts say that's the worst idea. Bad for the fish and bad for the entire ecosystem.
The result? Cute little goldfish that grow to the size of a football.
Goldfish can cause quite the ecological disruption. They are removing the habitat for the native fish.
Experts say if you need to get rid of your goldfish, give it to a friend or return them to the pet store. But whatever you do, do not throw them in lakes.
We really encourage, obviously, not releasing it into any freshwater.
Capybaras, a South American rodent species, took over an upscale neighborhood in Argentina in 2021. The bold animals were seen wandering through the streets and gardens. A local conservationist said the rodents were being driven into urban areas for a number of reasons, including fewer predators to keep the capybara population in check. In July of 2023, dozens of lionhead rabbits invaded a Florida neighborhood.
One of the neighbors moved a couple of years ago and she just left her rabbits in the street when she moved. They were not spayed or neutered, so they started multiplying.
Well, every morning the first thing I do is get up and cover up the holes and chase them out of the backyard too. But, I'd like them, but I just wish they would live somewhere else.
Meanwhile, they're not supposed to be in the heat because they could have a heat stroke when the temperatures get above 85. And there's predators all around that can kill them, and we found dead rabbits all over the place, I've seen several dead rabbits. So they need to be rescued and rehomed.
Also in July, thousands and thousands of crickets swarmed this woman's home in Elko, Nevada.
I'm a prisoner in my own home.
They were on walls, the ceiling, even all over just delivered packages.
Disgusting, vile cricket infestation at my home. We just found hundreds of crickets in our garage and about 3 more inside of our home.
It was nothing short of apocalyptic. It felt biblical. Every day you wake up and think, okay, this will be the day they're gone, and you look out the window and it's 10 times worse.
Colette called an exterminator, but he wouldn't come.
He said, I'm sorry, there's really not much we can do. You just kind of have to wait them out.
Funny enough, the crickets totally ignored her next-door neighbor.
It was really disheartening to look out at my neighbor's house and there wasn't a single one on their home.
It is disgusting. They are literally everywhere.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.